Hello, good morning. Welcome to another wonderful time on Delta Television, The People's Pride. It's time for Morning Bride. My name is Francis Ofulu. It's good to have you right there this loving Wednesday morning. It is the 26th day of November and the year is blessed. It's 2025. Just yesterday, there was all the rare conversations around the state. 16 days of activism. We're trying to eliminate violence against women and girls. On the news this morning, we had that conversation. We had those stories from the wife of the state governor and also from the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Community Development, Honorable Pat Ajudua, all talking about this. 16 days of activism, 16 days to follow up against violence on women and girls. Now, if you live around the southern region, or places where people claim to be educated, you would believe or you would go to the near assumption that gender violence has been on the low. Indeed, you think that it's non-existent. However, in reality, it happens in secret. Voices are not heard. Violence against girls and women persists in a society that hypocritically believes that it is civilized. This is not about those areas you think are creeks or villages or uneducated or illiterate people. You think those societies are the ones that have issues like that. Even around us, some of us who claim to be educated, even around educated men, women still suffer different forms of violence. Sometimes it comes in the form of cyberbullying, where a man would try to shame a woman through the internet and mock her body, her pride, whatever he thinks he can mock her with. Even women sometimes are not fair to women. When they have fights, the first thing they do is reach out and try to tear the garments of their fellow women, exposing their private to public spectacle. Violence against women has persisted in a country where we believe that we are educated. So the conversation is quite pivotal. The conversation should be had. Women should be defended. Now, why does this concern a man? Because when you see me sitting around here talking or speaking for women, you think that I'm not speaking for myself, but I'm being selfless, speaking about another gender. The truth is, I'm selfish about this conversation. When I speak for women, I speak for myself. I speak for my daughters. I speak for my son. The women who are going to be around my son. How mentally safe are they, really? If they are hurt, if they are broken, if they are shattered, then my son will be at the receiving end. I also will be at the receiving end. And my daughter will have a safer environment. This concerns everyone. Gender, not even the issue. It's about humans around us going through this particular pain on every single day. So we must speak up. When you see a woman being bullied, speak up. I saw a video that I do not like the way it turned out, but somehow a part of me, a dark side of me, sort of applauded the action, where a man was being violent against a woman using plank, woods, a very big bamboo, hitting the woman repeatedly, and men around that region came around, held him down, and they even descended on him. Because he's been violent for the parts of the men who tried to rescue the woman, but it felt like good riddance to bad rubbish. Truth is, regardless of that, when you see a woman going through such situation, please make moves to save that woman. If you cannot overpower that man by holding him and trying to restrain him from what he's doing, get other men who are sensible enough to restrain that man. And if you're a woman going through that, speak up. Don't be ashamed. Whether in your places of work, in your homes, or any other place you find yourself, please speak up. In Delta State, the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Community Development, Honorable Pat Ajudua, will take your story as one step ahead towards doing her job. So go out there and speak out. You would be heard. You would be answered. Let the call start now. And to all the men who say, why is it always about women? Well, when it's about you, speak up. The point is, when violence is done, do not let shame get the best of you. Speak up. Then, also on the screen, we saw things about sexual harassment. That's also something that happens too. People don't speak about it as well. Girls feel ashamed to speak about when they are molested, harassed sexually by those who seem to be loved ones. And research has proven every time that victims of sexual molestation, rape, and the likes are mostly victims from those who are supposedly close family members. or close relatives, people in proximity with them. So it means that that uncle, that nice man out there, might be the problem you have. So mothers, listen to your daughters. Let them feel free to speak to you. Yes, there is a research saying your children should not be your friends. You should train them and nurture them. However, you should make it possible and strike the balance where your daughters, even your sons, can fully come to you and have a conversation about things they have gone through during the day or even the night. When it comes to violence or sexual molestation, even boys are victims. But I want to talk about women today because we are facing that 16 days of activism as regards violence against women. Speaking about violence against women, let's go to Kebbi State in Maga, where schoolgirls were kidnapped. 25 of them, one of them escaped, and 24 remained kidnapped for a while. That happened last Monday. Well, yesterday we had good news that the girls have been released, rescued, saved from the hands of kidnappers. But the word rescued seemed to be a really slightly controversial word because the way the girls were rescued is something that we have not gotten a full grasp of. First and foremost, remember, just after these girls were kidnapped, there were actions taken by the presidency. In fact, the Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria cancelled his trip for the G20 summit. He chose to stay in Nigeria and let his Vice President Kashim Shettima, go on those journeys. The president, with force and strength and vigor, empathy for his country and the people who serve him, or who he serves rather, decided to send the defense boss, Mr. Matawale, to go to Kebbi State until those girls are released. Or the girls are released, so I'm sure that Mr. Matawale can return to Abuja and continue working from that end. But then how were the girls released? Also at Iruku, we discovered that those who were kidnapped were also released. Beautiful. All this seems to be testimonies. But then, like I said, remember just after those girls were kidnapped, armed men, the military men were sent to rescue them. And we heard about the assault on the military men. We heard about those injured. I'm not certain about those military men who might have passed on during that first rescue attempt. Fast forward later, these girls have been rescued. The question remains, how did the girls get rescued? That's the big question, really, that many of us have been asking ourselves. Recently, one of the presidential spokesperson, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, was having a conversation on a television station where he was put on a hot seat and the questions surrounded the episodes of how those girls were rescued. He wasn't the most, how do I put it, fluent person during the conversation. He talked about how it was important to rescue and release the girls. In modalities he could not explain in details. Instead, he was talking about how conscious the country is, or the federal government is, about getting those girls without them becoming human shields. Now, remember that when it comes to this guerrilla warfare, this bloody situation going on, what terrorists do or bandits do is that they turn their victims to some sort of human shields, so that when the army tries to rescue them, the first victim or the first casualty will be the actual kidnapped ones, the ones who need to be rescued. It's in that light that the federal government chose not to handle this with kid's glove, to handle this like a man who has a mosquito on his scrotum, as gentle as possible, trying to ensure that they do it without causing more harm. And then there were pictures also on the internet. We saw those pictures. We saw videos, allegedly, of this bandit telling the so-called schoolgirls, I'm not sure that video is verified or not, but then it brought a lot of questions to my mind. Telling the schoolgirls that, did you see how many airplanes did you see on the air? And the girl said loads of them, uncountable. I said, how many rescued you? We are the ones releasing you at this point in time. So the belief is that there was a sort of negotiation between the federal government or the government and the bandits or terrorists who kidnapped these girls. That brings us to the discomfort in the hearts of many Nigerians. Nigerians are asking the question, for how long shall the negotiations continue? Does this mean that our men wearing camouflage are not strong enough to handle these bandits? How confident would our men in camouflage be about going to attempt rescue operations? Mind you, that the first time they tried, they were assaulted by these bandits. And some days later, negotiations were held and these girls were released. Wouldn't these armed forces believe that they should put lesser attention or zeal when it comes to rescuing victims of kidnapped victims? Rather just sit back, waiting for a negotiation to happen so the girls could be released. And if negotiations happened, where money is being exchanged, because if monies were being exchanged, it just means we are saving an attack for another day. We are giving more impetus to the bandits to have or gather more weapons, sophisticated weapons. Already, if you go around the internet or you're surfing through, these bandits are purchasing the latest iPhone 17. It means they're making serious monies, making good videos. They have become sort of the cool kids around the northern region, and they are creeping into the southwestern region. Meaning that many of the young ones out there are beginning to see these bandits as role models. That means it's going to be a process of recruiting and recruiting. Already a state governor, I think in Nasarawa State, had to bemoan how parents intentionally carry their own children to bandits and arrange for them to be kidnapped. This allegation or this particular thought is one that is very provocative to the realities facing Nigeria, because what it means by extension is that this has become some sort of business. And like I noted, these bandits are becoming some sort of cool kids around the northern region. And that means that they will keep on having people who would feed them with information, people who would deliberately, intentionally give them their children, and then the federal government will continue going through the same cycle. So what should be done by a responsible government of a country that is called the largest black nation in the entire world? That question is for them, basically, not for me. But I believe that they can put in more action. They can be more honest about this movement. Because during that interview with presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga, he was told about how the people would see the government. The perception is quite important. The trust is quite important. When someone talked about the strength of the Nigerian military, somebody asked a very simple question. If you were given a notice from bandits in court not to come out on a particular day, and then the military says, go ahead and go out, what would you do? That answers the question if Nigeria has indeed thrown the towel to bandit and terrorism or not. In Abuja, we heard reports that the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, has shut down schools in the state, in the Federal Capital Territory, citing insecurity concerns. That is very concerning. It's concerning to a point that Boko Haram, the name that has bedeviled this country when it comes to terrorism, actually means Western education is forbidden. Are we slowly yielding to Boko Haram, shutting down schools? Just recently this week we heard about how 47 Unity schools were shut. I say 46 because there was double embedment on that. 16 and 32 had the same name of school, but whatever it is though. 47 or 46 schools were shut down due to security concerns. And now we're hearing reports or stories indicating that the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory has shut down schools in the Federal Capital Territory, citing security concerns. That means that Nigeria needs to have a very strong conversation with itself. If the terrorists are indeed winning the war, don't get it twisted. Basically, it is responsible for a parent who hears about these issues in this region to withdraw their children from school. After all, even in football, in life generally, they say safety first. But then, the reality that these children have stopped school really makes us ask several questions. If we even withdraw all these children from the schools, what will be the next target of these bandits? Well, there are more things we have this morning for you on Morning Ride, beyond just the insecurity in the country and the rest of them. One thing that's taken over the entire world, that is artificial intelligence. One way or the other, you feel it and I feel it. We have embraced it and we are accepting it. Yet there are experts who say we have not scratched the surface yet. AI, so to speak, has come to stay. There are those who still face resistance about the help that AI can bring to us. Those who believe that AI somehow mutes the brain and makes one very reliant on it rather than think for themselves. But truth be told, in years past, we've seen the resistance in embracing technology. For instance, when calculators came in schools, there were those who thought that you know what, using calculators mean that you are not very intelligent. You should know how to use your hands. But after a while, people embraced it. Maybe this is me trying to tell you that embrace technology. Use it for your own good, but also learn how to use your head at the same time so your brain does not become roasted while you're dependent totally on AI. This morning on Morning Ride, we shall go to the streets on Street Talk and ponder really, if AI will take away the jobs of humans indeed. This is a horror question, if you have to say that way, because people have resisted AI basically because there are those who are scared that AI will take over their jobs. That's in Street Talk. Can AI take over human jobs? Coming up next. I'll return for more conversations. Stay with us. Street Talk is next.
J Mali make it juicy.
Good day, Nigeria. This is Street Talk on Delta Television, the People's Pride. I am your host, Emanuela Walter Agboje, and today we're hitting the streets of Asaba with the question, can AI really take over the world? Is humanity really safe with AI around? Let's hit the streets. Good day, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What's your opinion on AI hitting everywhere in the world?
Well, to me, I think it's a good thing. It really make things a little bit easier for humanity. You get, so you can discover that there are some certain things that you would have spent a lot to actually get out there, but with just your smartphone, you can just get it done yourself.
But don't you think it's making things a little bit too easy? We're becoming very, very lazy in this country, don't you think?
No, it's not making anybody lazy. It's just making those things, to me, I think it's making those things that you would have spent a lot to get. You can just do it yourself at home. That's what I think.
But AI is seeming to steal a lot of jobs in the country.
Oh, definitely. So I guess it's not going to that steal a lot of jobs, because if a lot of person can still take advantage of the system of AI, they can also, be employed through that medium as well.
Okay, so to you, it's a good thing through and through.
It's a good invention to me. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good day, sir. How has AI influenced your daily life?
My name is Akori, and let me go straight to your question. AI, you mean artificial intelligence, right? I want to say from my own point of view that it is of great importance, this technology, but it comes with more harms than good. Yes. Reason I have said that is that, you see, artificial intelligence gradually is killing intellectual IQ of individuals.
So basically, it's making us lazy.
Yes, it is. For me, I think it's a curse and a blessing, like we were taught that technology, when we were in school, they asked us a question that you have just asked me, that is technology a curse or a blessing? I think AI in this regard, it's more of curses and blessings. It makes one brain redundant, and it does it like a cheat. Yes, it's really a cheat. Let me put it in summary.
But do you think AI is going to take over our jobs?
It is already. It is. From the little I know about technology, AI has virtually rendered Excel users, experts in Excel, they are of no importance anymore. AI does virtually what Excel can do for an hour in a minute.
Yeah. So basically, AI will render all of us jobless.
And make us useless in the end.
Yeah, I get your point. Thank you very much, sir. Good day, ma.
Good day.
Well, today I'm here to ask you about how AI has influenced you and your point of view of the world.
I'm shy. I'm shy.
Good day, sir.
How you doing?
Well, today I want to know how AI has influenced you as a person or how you see AI.
Well, artificial intelligence, all I can say about it is that it has improved work capacity. It helps you to do a lot much faster, and I think it's added more to humanity in the sense that it has applied by using AI. Like I said, we get to do things a lot faster and achieve more.
So basically, you're saying AI is a good thing and you like the pace it's growing at.
It's the future. AI is the future. It's about the future, like Elon Musk has told us. AI is where the whole world is going to the next.
Okay, so like this, can you entrust AI with your businesses?
That's the future, of course. Just like how when computers came out, people would say, can you use computers to do work or can you, and today we can't do anything without computers. So yeah, definitely AI is the future. Without AI, there's no future. Definitely, yeah.
What of AI in, let's say, medical department, like you are in pain now, you have an injury and it's an artificial intelligence that is somehow miraculously meant to heal you?
Well, AI may not be able to treat you physically, but it will help you in diagnosing things a lot faster. Like what the doctor would have taken, say, a day or two to find out about, AI can basically do it in like 2 minutes because everything is programmed to get information at your disposal at a fast rate.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, sir. Good day, sir. How has AI influenced your life? Has it improved it or made it worse?
No, AI is good. In one word or the other, it has improved it. Just that it has its own disadvantages.
And what disadvantages would you say those are?
You see, when you come to social media, AI has really, so far, it has really deceived a lot of people.
Okay, so it's like it's misleading most of the.
Yeah, it's misleading most. If you're not sharp upstairs, you will not understand when you see AI program. You will think it's real when it's not real.
Yeah, it's true. When they are creating images and videos.
And you think it's real when it's not real. But then, the other hand, it's good. It's good. It makes things easy. Yeah, maybe I want to write a book. All I need to do is talk to AI. AI will give me clue on what I want to write. I get in it.
But do you think AI is going to take over jobs from youths and everybody?
The legend said it will. There are so many things AI can do that we do that AI can do comfortably, even do more than it. So it's going to take up jobs from people, for a lot of youths. That's one sure bank.
Can you trust AI to take over?
I wouldn't want to trust AI to take over because at the end of the day, when it takes over all those jobs, now what would the youths be doing? How do they feed? So it's not really the best. Oyibo people, they're over there, they are very lazy people. So they will like AI. But we're not lazy people. We're up and doing. We want to do things ourselves. Like me personally, I'm not a lazy person. I want to do my things myself. So I don't want to depend on AI to do it for me. So it's not really, for me, AI is not it. Okay? But generally, it is. When the general public accepts it, who am I? Do you understand?
Thank you very much for your time, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Good day, sir.
Good day.
So how has AI influenced your personal life and both your career?
It has been good, because we use it to create a lot of stuff. Because I'm into movies, so we use it to create some flyers and other stuff for our movies. So it's really, really, it's nice.
So you have only nice things to say about AI?
It's not like it's only nice things now. Like there are some things we used to pay people for before. Like I would pay all those graphic designers. We don't pay them anymore. So it's like some people are losing their jobs now because of the AI. So
what if you are one of those people one day?
I don't know. But it's helpful. It has its advantage and also some disadvantage as well.
Okay, but at this rate, let's say AI eventually does take over. Can you trust AI with your business and other parts of your life?
Well, at the moment, you still need someone to, put the prompt and all that stuff there now. I know it's it does the stuff by itself, but you still need to put the prompts and you still need to be in control. So it's okay like that.
Can you trust AI in banks, hospitals? For example, you are sick now, and they say it's a machine that will heal you.
No, I can't trust AI for that. No, I can't.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. Good day, sir.
Good day.
I want to know how AI has influenced your personal life and your professional life.
Well, to a reasonable extent, it has done a lot. While in some other aspects, some people are having problems in such a thing. The AI is good. It's a welcome development, but people are not using it for the main purpose. Although it's like that in the society that the good and the bad always strive to see how they can overcome each other. So that is why it's like that. But for those who know about it and they want to make good use of it, it helps.
But do you think it has caused more harm than good?
Yes. I will say it has caused more harm than good, in the sense that I'm just coming out from bank. Somebody has been scammed. In fact, with that artificial intelligence they use and pretend that it's the one that borrowed money, take loan, up to 300 million is what they have scammed the person. So I feel that is a harm. This is the one I have the evidence I am aware of. How much more other people?
So at this rate, AI is basically failing us, and it could also steal our jobs.
Yes, I would say so. I will admit with you that it's stealing our job. Even the era of computer, like now in many offices, people have been rendered useless. They are not doing anything again because of computer era. Where before, there is division of labor. This one is doing this, some people writing, some people doing this, some people submitting. But this, with internet and all this new AI, you can easily send message, nobody to, like a dispatch rider now, is rendered useless because it cannot dispatch. What you see dispatching, you can from here email or send message to a very far place. So I believe what you said.
Thank you very much for your time. Good day, ma.
Good day.
So I'm here to ask you how AI has influenced your personal life and your professional life.
AI has done a lot, actually. AI has made things easy. AI has broken complex things into very simplified subjects. Okay, for my personal life, I like to know new things, learn new things. I could just wake up in the morning and say, oh, hello, buddy, ChatGPT, can you give me science fun facts? And then a lot of things I did not know before. So I'm advancing in my knowledge generally. Okay, let's say I have a bulk of materials to read. I don't have enough time. I can just give AI the material and say, could you please summarize this for me, and it's done. So I have little that comprehends that, okay, that comprises of everything I need to learn, and I have enough time to cover it. Then for my career, okay, I've been learning to be a virtual assistant, and AI has helped a lot actually. I could take meeting notes, meeting minutes with AI uninterrupted. I could just tell the AI, please help me do this, help me do this, help me do this, and then I just do my own human check, and that's all.
But don't you think AI can take over your work?
Okay, let me not be personal. I don't think AI would take people's jobs. I think AI would take the jobs of people who don't know how to use AI. That's what I think. So in whatever you are doing, there is, okay, the place of saying, I want to scale and I want to scale in knowing how to use AI. I want to get better at this. Okay, let's say I'm a nurse. How can AI improve my being a nurse? How can I stand out amongst the other nurses? That's it.
So basically be smarter than the computer.
Yes. Not really be smarter than the computer, but know how to use the computer to your benefits. Know how to use it in a way that you can stand out among people.
Thank you very much for your time. Good day, sir. I would like to know how AI has influenced your personal life and your professional life.
Okay. AI, artificial intelligence, has been of a great help to me personally. As a business development specialist, I use AI to work on a lot of my proposals, and it makes it easier. Although naturally I'm a good writer, I write pretty well, but with the introduction of AI, it has made it so easy. I can design proposals, and the proposals I design that I will just input into AI to help me fine-tune, and within a short while, AI gives me better suggestions, better ideas. So AI has really been of a great help. When I need to get any information, when I need to get addresses of places, when I need to work on a project, AI gives me a clue, gives me an inkling, and makes it a lot better. So AI has really made life easy for quite a lot of professionals, and it has really made life easy for me in writing, restructuring projects. I make inquiries, I get information all over the world from AI. So AI has been beautiful. It's been a great time using AI.
But don't you have the fear that AI could take over your line of work?
Take over my line of work? Well, my kind of work, I've never for once had that fear though, because it's not like I overly depend on AI outrightly. Do you understand? All I need is certain clues from AI, and AI gives the feedback. So I don't see AI doing what I'm doing. I'm a business development specialist. I am expected to engage with people. AI has been of great help to me, so that fear is not there at the moment.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for your time. Good day, ma.
Good day.
So I want to ask you of how AI has influenced your personal life and your professional.
On your own, not just relying on AI itself. So that alone, to me, I would advise that anybody that is into AI should also know the disadvantage and be able to rely on other sources apart from AI.
Okay, I see your point. But, okay, you are saying all good things about AI. What if tomorrow now, AI is in banks, hospitals, and the rest? Can you trust a machine with your money without humans there?
I can, if I'm learned. That's why I say you should be learned and versatile, so that when it's overload, expanding your knowledge, so that AI, because as technology goes, AI is growing, you also have scam, a lot of them. You may not be able to know the right and the wrong from all of them. So that's why you have to build your mind, so that before you even get to that point, you should be able to at least be able to stand in all things.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Good day, sir.
Yeah, good day.
I want to ask you about how AI has influenced your personal life and your professional.
How do I put it? Artificial and natural are not the same thing. So you cannot compare artificial. As far as I'm concerned, artificial is man-made, but natural is from God. The two is not comparable. For me, I don't like it.
But don't you think AI has helped a lot of people? Because it seems that it has helped a lot of people in their businesses, their personal life, giving them more knowledge.
Like how do you mean it? What knowledge does it give to them?
They can go online and research and find easier information. Or if you have a work to do that will take you at least an hour, AI can help you do it in less than 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, it depends. When you say other books, you can read it and get it from the other thing, not necessarily from AI. From you, I'm subjected to my own opinion. I don't know about other people's opinion.
I understand what you mean. Yes, you can read it from books and all that, but it will take way longer. What if you have a very, very tight schedule?
Well, what you should know, take for instance, if you use your phone now to browse certain things, it will not give you the actual distance. If you use your textbook, like if you read naturally, then if you use your, what's it called, your set to write exam, you will fail. Because when you read and write with your phone or whatever, the knowledge, what it will give you, it will not be at the same as probably you read it from the textbook or you have it from your imagination. So you can see the difference is clear. That's for me. I don't think, although some people feel it's good, but for me, I don't I don't see it like that.
So basically, you think it's better to use your natural intellect?
Exactly. To use your natural than to use the artificial intelligence. You can't compare natural and artificial. That one is artificial and this one is natural.
Thank you very much, sir. Good day, sir.
Good day.
How has AI influenced your personal life and your professional life?
Oh, well, AI to somewhat extent has a good side and bad side of it. Do you understand? I will talk about the good side of it in the sense that when you want to get an answer to some questions or something that you're really not sure of, there's a swift response from AI, yeah. But on the other side, where we have people likes of content creators or some other people, editors and some other people that you tend to put panic into the public in terms of when they make use of the AI to create something that is, how would I put it? Something
that is false.
Something a false content with it. I think that part should be, I don't know if there is a way it will be sanctioned or restricted so that such misleading information won't tend to be going viral because it tends to put panic to the public and it's not.
So basically what you're saying is that AI is good but it's in the wrong hands.
I would not say it's in the wrong hands because in any society there are good people and there are bad people. And anything that is innovative, people tend to use it in the right way and some other people in the wrong way. Do you understand? So I believe I would not like to use the word in a wrong hand. I would say that there's a way it should be cautioned. You know, for people not to, for the bad ones, for the ones that have it on the wrong side of it, for it not to go viral. I think it will be.
From what I've gathered here today, you all seem to really love and some detect AI. AI has helped a lot of people with their personal lives, giving them more knowledge, their academic life, making tests and exams and even assignments way easier, and their professional life, helping them to get more customers and build their business gradually. And a lot of people have complained that it is taking over their work, it is making businesses a bit more difficult for them to have their own customers. Well, AI can never take over my work because you have such a beautiful hostess on your screen. As always, I am Emanuela Walter Agboje. This is Delta TV.
J Mali make it juicy.
time morning ride on Delta Television, the People's Pride. It's now time for us to look at the papers. With me right here is social commentator, wonderful analyst and people lover, Engineer Mesha Koza. Good to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's Wednesday morning.
Good morning.
I've got many papers to look at this morning. The Vanguard, the Punch, This Day, name it. We have them all right here with us this morning. We'll start first with the Vanguard newspaper and see the headlines this morning. On the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning has the big headline: Abductions. Tinubu orders 24-hour aerial surveillance on Kwara, Kebbi, Niger forests. That's on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning, with several riders underneath it. One of the riders says, over 20 abducted in fresh Kwara attack. Governor Idris receives 25 abducted Kebbi schoolgirls. Parents of abducted Niger students plead for rescue. NUT threatens withdrawal of teachers from classrooms over attacks. Halt kidnappings, prosecute perpetrators, UN tells federal government. Why security agencies can't bomb bandits enclaves. That's coming from the presidency, and that's the last rider to the big story right here on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. The headline that says, Abductions, Tinubu orders 24-hour aerial surveillance on Kwara, Kebbi, Niger forests. That's the big headline. On the top strip now of the Vanguard newspaper this morning, we have CBN retains monetary policy rate at 27%. Task System, Nigeria tech firm celebrated in USA with Microsoft Best Partner Award. Dangote Honeywell partner to raise refinery capacity to 1.4 mpbd. On the bottom strip, just underneath the 24 abducted Kebbi schoolgirls released photo speak right here on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. We have Sanwo-Olu presents 4.237 trillion naira budget for 2026. That's on page 10. On page 9, Nigeria's high-level insecurity worrisome, coming from the Catholic bishops. On page 8, by the side of the photo speak, insecurity, reps protest rising attacks. Oh, I didn't see the story, or just underneath the photo speak, we have Galatasaray may stop Osimhen from playing in AFCON. That's on page 36, and I say, how dare them. All right, let's get back to the studio and have a conversation with Engineer Mesha Koza. Well, before we do that, we'll look at other papers now. I think we'll have more analysts right here to look at the papers this morning. Let's check out other papers. We have Daily Trust newspaper next. Daily Trust newspaper is next. On the Daily Trust newspaper, the big headline says, 24 Kebbi schoolgirls rescued. Underneath the photo speak of the Daily Trust newspaper, we have 8 days after PDP secretariat remained shut as factions head to court. 8 days after PDP secretariat remained shut as factions head to court. Now we'll look at other stories here. Again, Daily Trust bags Dame Best Design Newspaper Award. Congratulations, Daily Trust. You won the award, and it's right in front of your your newspaper this morning. Other headlines here. MPC retention of interest rates should boost lending to MSMEs, coming from experts. And then finally, on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper, Kaduna attack. Mamu received 50 million naira for ransom fund. Is coming from DSS. It says Kaduna attack. Mamu received 50 million naira ransom fund, coming from the DSS. Okay, let's get back to the studio. I have looked at 2 papers this morning. That's the 2 papers. We look at the Vanguard newspaper and the Daily Trust newspaper. And then look at the other man who has joined us this morning. He's Henry Usiayo. Good to have you. Good to have you. I have journalists right here with us this morning, people who look at current affairs every other day. So let's look at the most current affairs this morning. And one of the most current things this morning is one that looks like you should say glory to God if you're a Christian. And then after screaming glory to God, you would think, should I testify yet? Or should I pray that another attack doesn't come? The headline that says, Abduction, Tinubu orders 24-hour aerial surveillance on Kwara, Kebbi, Niger forest. Just yesterday, Engineer Mesha, Henry Usiayo, I was looking at the papers. I was looking at social media, and what I saw was a video of an alleged bandit. He was asking one of the girls, how many airplanes did you see? And the child said uncountable. How many of them rescued you? The child said none. Then they told the child, we are releasing you. That was very instructive for me. Now, Tinubu has ordered 24-hour area surveillance on Kwara, Kebbi, Niger Forest. And as a Nigerian who is concerned about the speed of things, the question is, would it even work? I'll start with Engineer Meshakosa.
Well, thank you very much. I think that's a literary language of area surveillance. Why does it have to take now for you to order an area surveillance? That is one. What have you been doing all this while? I mean, the Sambisa Forest area is the Lake Chad Basin is an area that covers entirely the southeast and south-south region. And of course, when you look at that region, it's small. It's not a mangrove region, so it's a region where you have mostly grassland, and it's accessible. And these guys, they have their trenches are visible from the sky. Now look at the narration example you gave. A bandit taunting a supposed abductee, telling him, look at the place. Now, what is a surveillance, and what's the essence of surveillance? Surveillance is for you to be able to locate the target, and the infantry, the foot soldiers, will act on that. Have we ever been able as a country to act on intelligence gathered? The DSS, like I always give kudos to them. Now, they gather from intelligence, but they can't act on intelligence because it is not their purview. Their purview is intelligence gathered. It takes the commander-in-chief to pass that order. What is limiting Mr. President on taking policy decisions relating to nipping this insecurity in the bud? It's politics. Politics is limiting him. And unfortunately, what is going to be the gain for this surveillance? Of what is going to be? Besides, I mean, when you say air surveillance, is it really necessary? When you have drones that can survey the whole of the area, you don't need to put the airplanes, taxpayers' money on that risk. These bandits have better anti-aircraft guns and all that. Who bought these guns for them? So, I mean, there's more to this crisis that meets the eye. Now, you're talking of area surveillance, and we have always, on this program, we always talked about the issue of, don't our security agents have night vision helicopters? Don't they have helicopters to move around these areas to locate, I mean, the bandits in their enclaves? Yes, they have, but why have they not acted? The lack of political will to give that command. You have seen soldiers being reprimanded for going against command. You have seen soldiers that want to react and command order comes that don't return fire. That means people are being used as collateral damage for politicians' selfish political interest. Mr. President is making a pronouncement. Nigerians are tired of pronouncement, of political rhetorics. What we want right now is action. And it calls for question the integrity and the sovereignty of our nation, where areas supposedly have been taken over by bandits, and I mean states of emergency should have been instituted in these areas. Let the military, I mean, occupy these areas for now and see the reaction. We're going to come to that. And when you look at bandits, they have released the 26. How happened before the release? Who paid the ransom? And why was this guy? I listened to the Inspector General of Police, and like he said that they did not arrest the bandits because of one reason. I really felt so down for the country that is supposed to be the biggest black country in the world.
That's right. The photo speak of the Vanguard newspaper has those girls. So the four of them rescued, or should I say released? I don't know the right grammar to use. If they were rescued or they were released. Because what I understand about rescue operations from the Hollywood movies we saw while growing up,
there must be confrontation with rescue.
Kind of fire exchange, this brute force. We were expecting to see some top Hollywood action from Nigeria. Actually knowing that the United States has granted us conversations about their security intelligence. We thought that
we wouldn't be surprised. Probably the bandits were actually, it's a political game. Nigerians now, if you go to social media, a lot of people are saying, are you sure it's not government that asked this band, they have to wear wearing military uniform, kidnap these people, and let's rescue them, let's see them, let's make it seem that they have been rescued, I mean, to gain some level of attention from the international community that are really working. There's so much Nigeria is a scam.
Well, Henry Siaga, according to the Council on Foreign Relations Nigeria Security Tracker, they have recorded the abductions in 2025 alone to be 3,600. 620. 2025 alone. And it makes me wonder really how far we've gone. Now looking at the girls released, and then we're hearing about over 20 abducted in fresh Kwara attack. What is the hope?
I keep saying it that it's high time the president declares state of emergency in security, and of course seek for external support to curb these menace. It gone well between both sides, but they keep using release, meaning they have been going to negotiation with these bandits. And of course, why will you treat bandits with kid gloves? You should give them back to back, because the more they keep treating them with kid gloves, that is the more they keep carrying out their activities. So far so good, 2025, the number that you just read out, it goes to show that instead of those in authorities to begin to look at what we can fix, they were already talking about 2027. So they took their mindset away from focusing on 2027. Now the bandits are now catching on this area. Okay, if you are focusing on 2027, let us start making 2027 unbearable for
how terrified are Nigerians? I saw, because social media, I've literally built a house there. I'm living there, watching those posts. Go on. This is like a suspense movie, and then it's a reality show for Nigerians. We have reality. Somebody put up a post somewhere, one of the, should I say jihadists, or one of the bandits, or the rest of them put up a post somewhere of attacks made in some place around the northern region. And then a very overzealous Nigerian commented, try this in Maryland. And then the kidnapper or the bandit said, okay. People were very terrified, when the person said, okay. The level of fear in Nigeria is closely getting to a point of hysteria right now.
Yeah, definitely. You are not far from the truth, because right now, if you're walking on the road and you see somebody at your back, you must be tempted to stop. And of course, look at what is going to happen. We are now living in fear daily. We don't even know when the attack may just come up. We saw sometimes ago, some week ago, precisely last week, even right here in Asaba, where some disgruntled elements went on rampage at one of the markets at Iguzo Expressway. That is a clear picture of what could happen at any time. So we are now living in fear. Even what you even comment on social media, you should even be very, very careful about that, because you don't know where they are. You made a statement. Meshach made a statement that the DSS, what they do is intelligence gathering. And when they gather this intelligence, they give it to the appropriate authorities. Now it is left for them to carry out execution. And if you look at what the way the DSS carry out the intelligence, they don't miss it. You don't just say, okay, because you saw somebody on red cloth, it means this person is a cultist. The DSS will have a detailed report of that particular person, and now they are really satisfied that this is this person. But a failure to carry out all this. There have been series of warning. We've seen when they went to Zamfara, everybody felt okay, it's Zamfara. When they came to Kwara, it's Kwara, and of course now Kebbi. If we don't begin to take the right actions, and of course Niger State, you see that everybody must. Security is not just left for the security personnel alone. You must say something. But point of execution. That is a point.
Papers already. We saw Vanguard and the Daily Trust newspaper, and we've discussed the headlines. So somehow we have discredited Daily Trust for using the word rescued. 24 Kebbi schoolgirls rescued, and right here in the studios we say no, they were released. That's what we believe. Now let's look at other papers. Daily Sun is next. Daily Sun is next. Daily Sun has the headline: UN predicts severe food crisis in Nigeria. We've not finished talking about the insecurity. We're talking about belly insecurity.
Infrastructure.
So, and then at the top strip of the Daily Sun newspaper, just close to the masthead, there has insecurity. Catholic bishops demand end to Sharia law. An Anglican bishop urges leaders to stop playing politics with innocent blood. That's the writer to that story there. Insecurity, Catholic bishops demand end to Sharia law. Underneath that says CBN, 16 banks kill recapitalization hurdle. And let's go to the bottom strip. We have Sanwo-Olu Soludo Nwefuru OT presents 4.2 trillion naira, 757 billion naira, 884 billion naira, 1.01 trillion naira budget for 2026. Tinubu seeks to overhaul legal profession to strengthen regulation, ethics, public confidence. Dangote partners Honeywell International to boost refinery capacity to 1.4 million barrels per day. And finally, on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, we have UNICEF NGE Dame demand urgent reforms as insecurity post services threaten future of 110 million children. Next, The Guardian newspaper. Up next. The front page of The Guardian newspaper has the big headline. It says, insecurity triggers rare APC dissent in reps amid fresh Kwara Kano attacks. That's on page 6. And we are looking at The Guardian newspaper this morning. At the top strip, Dangote partners Honeywell International on refinery expansion, 1.4 MBPD, 28 target, yes. And then let's look at the story underneath the photos. Sanwo-Olu promises shared prosperity with 4.2 trillion naira 26 budget. FG unveils online classes for schools, over 1.2 million teacher shortage. Sani against blame. FG denies banning open grazing, confirms transition to ranting. On the bottom strip, CBN holds interest rate at 27% as 16 banks meet recapitalization targets. Those are the stories making the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Let's get back to the studios. We've looked at two papers. Let's talk to the two gentlemen right here with us this morning. Now, I'm going to start first with Henry Usi-Ayo. UN predicts severe food crisis in Nigeria.
Yeah, I like the word severe.
Severe, yes.
Yeah. It means if we don't begin to tackle insecurity, we're going to get out of that biblical scenario where people were killing their children to feed. Yeah, because this insecurity is actually affecting everything. I was on the social media, and of course I saw a lady right there in her farmland. She said they planted beans, and of course it was time for harvest. These Fulani herdsmen and their cow are right there, and of course eating the beans, and they don't harvest anything. She was making a live video right there, and of course the Fulani herdsmen and their cow there destroying it, and of course they were laughing. And this is actually happening, and authority didn't take any action. Now we are going to see a lot of destruction there. Now you're going to have a situation whereby a bag of beans now skyrocket. So UN prediction is not far from the truth until we begin to attack this menace of insecurity, both in the north central, northeast, and of course even in the south. Right here, you see farmers find it difficult to go to their farms because of fear of the unknown. After planting, you see these guys coming with their cows to destroy everything you've planted. So that definitely leads to food shortage. And when we have excess food shortage, it becomes food insecurity, and that is the word severe food insecurity.
Engineer Meshach, want to add something to that?
Well, basically, when you talk about the situation on the ground in relation to food security, we're looking at the premise of the fact that most of our farmlands have been lost to bandits and terrorists. People can no longer go to farm, and like was rightly affirmed, you can't expect me to pay money to plant. I won't pay money to harvest, and the encroachment of farmlands by Fulani herders caused to question. But yesterday I saw in most media, print and electronic media, that the government has banned totally open grazing in Nigeria. But I took it with a pinch of salt because that was not the first time that kind of narration was coming. The issue of food insecurity has been so much on our lips for the past 2 years and beyond because of the fact that insecurity generally breeds food crisis because people can no longer access their farms, and that's why we have a high level, high rate of in the cost of foodstuffs right now. So what do we need to do? The only way we can tackle food challenges, food crisis, is to tackle insecurity. Because if insecurity is not tackled, Niger State is a major producer of yam. Plateau State is a major producer of yam, carrots, legumes, you name it. I mean, come to Kogi Bend with yams. Go up north, Katsina, Kebbi, we are talking of onions, pepper, tomatoes, all that is gone, even livestock. So, I mean, they are even rustling their cattle and all that. So we are totally going to enter into a state of anarchy, food anarchy, if we don't nip this insecurity in the bud. That's what we must tackle first.
All right. Now, you brought up something where you talked about how FG said they have placed a ban on open grazing entirely in the country. Well, on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, we saw the headline where FG denies banning open grazing, confirms transition to ranching. And one would have doubted you, Engineer Meshach, also, but I had to quickly check out the story that you said, because it was on the Vanguard newspaper yesterday where the federal government banned open grazing by cattle rearers as part of efforts to curb the persistent farmers, herders, conflicts across the country. The announcement was made on Tuesday, that was yesterday, by the Minister of Livestock Development, Alhaji Mukhtar Maha, during the inauguration of the first National Council on Livestock Development in Yola, Adamawa State. And fast forward to later, there was a ban. Then they said they confirmed ranching instead. I don't understand. That's it says FD denies banning open grazing, confirms transition to ranching.
They must give it a literary analogy that would please the perception. Let me tell you, when the Minister for Livestock made that statement, I knew instantly there was going to be an uproar, because the powers that be
probably got a query.
Yes, definitely. The powers that be, we call them into question. Who are you? These cattle you are saying, they are not owned by those herders. They are owned by people in power, people in politics. They own hundreds of cattle. They are the policy makers in this country, are the owners of this. So you want to tell them that you are banning cattle. What do you want them to do? Now, the ranching issue we'll talk about. The government, you see, I'm sorry to say this, but our government have been a government of lies in the last 3 decades. They've always told one lie after the other to cushion the burden of leadership that is on them. And because they lack leadership qualities, it becomes pretty difficult for them to conceptualize the ideals of how to truly practice democracy. Where we have a National Assembly that has not raised an eye, baited an eyelid in the face of insecurity, when we have a National Assembly that has not been able to check the excesses of the president, or rather the executive, or call the executive to order, or ask to demand the personality of Mr. President to come and tell Nigerians what is happening. We have a judiciary that can truly not interpret the laws relating to policy pronouncements like what you just heard. So, I mean, we are seem to be in an animal farm. And until issues are tackled holistically and drastically and in line with international best practices, it's very difficult for us. But how would we look ourselves in the eye of the international community? Yesterday, a supposed member of the Federal Executive Council makes a pronouncement. Today, there's a counter.
Well, you said it. You said animal farm, and there is open grazing. So the animals are probably farming in the country and causing famine in the country, because now people are losing their farms, but losing food. But anyway, as a pressman, let's analyze this headline, because I know you throw captions to headlines on news. And then the headline says FG banning open grazing confirms transition to ranching. What are they saying? Because if you say you've denied banning open grazing, then you then confirm transition to ranching. What are you saying?
You know, sometimes when we cast headline, we look at sometimes because I keep saying it, journalists cannot give you 100% of the truth, because if you have the 100% of the truth, then definitely there could be chaos. And of course, they are just trying to play down on this, just like what just like what Meshach said. They definitely know that coming straight to say open grazing have been banned is going to cause another chaos. So it's just a way of letting them know that no, we are not banning it. We just want to progress, transit to ranching. But it's not just saying it on the paper that actually matters. Is execution and of course a proper implementation. We've seen a situation where even states have said there are no longer open grazing, and of course it has been passed a law assented to by the state governor, but they've not even implemented it. We still see these guys roaming around the streets, roaming around even government properties, to feed their cattle. So it's just messy, and of course, in order not to cause an act against the people that they dread most in this country, because it seems this country have a particular sect of a region that is dreaded most by the government, so they just want to pacify them, and that is why you're seeing that immediately a minister said this, and they said no, you shouldn't have said that. We are not banning it, we are transiting.
Word power, play on words. Now you talked about a region that seems to, I want to change the word instead. A region that gets a preferential treatment, a different kind of treatment. Now, on the front page of the Daily Sun newspaper, the caption here says, insecurity, Catholic bishops demand end to Sharia law. That seems very, very bold, if you ask me, really.
Yeah, it seems very, very bold, and of course, I bet you in the coming days you're going to see various attacks verbally, and of course all the rest from on that Catholic bishop, because Nigeria, we have the north and the south. Now, majorly the north is made up of Muslim, and the advent of Sharia law into Nigeria has actually brought a lot of extremism in the Muslim religion, and of course we've seen a situation whereby some of them say this is how it's been done, but in practice even some of them contravene it. So it seems in Nigeria we are operating two constitutions, the federal government constitution and of course the Sharia law. Yeah, because when you go there, they believe in the Sharia law in most of these northern states than the constitution of the federal government. The federal government, in the constitution and of course, I think the penal code, you don't have the right to treat someone, but in their Sharia law is there. You can flog someone and of course do whatever you want to do to.
As far as it's about fines,
yes, as much as is there in the law. So you see that we're practicing two sets of law. So for that Catholic bishop calling for the abolishment of Sharia law, I know he's just trying to profile a solution. But to me, the Nigeria government decided to import this Sharia law, and of course, Sharia law have come to stay. It's just even a matter of how many states it's been extended to.
Okay, Engineer Meshach, the ball gets to you now. That particular headline brings up the thought about practicing true federalism in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so to speak. Because if we go to America, there are countries that still practice the capital sentence, and there are other countries that say no on that, other states rather that say no on that. So it means that different states have different law. That's how their federalism work. Is it not high time Nigeria adopts actual federalism than this pseudo thing that we seem to be practicing right now?
Adoption of an actual federalism has been the craving of a lot of nationalists over the years, and it's something that it's difficult to accept by some sections of the country, because true federalism actually erodes power from the center. It gives power to the regions and the constituents. The states become more powerful, and
they have their own police.
They have their own police. They have their own.
Just like Israel,
they control their resources. And at that state they pay to the center, but it's more convenient for the center. They don't know, but because of the greed and avarice of our political elite. They don't want to, they prefer the status quo moving forward. However, true federalism is part of the composition of the 2014-2015 confab. And when most of them, when billions of naira was spent in about 540 Nigerian statesmen and women put heads together to come up with this confab. And every member, every region was represented. But unfortunately, when they saw the composition of the confab, they started withdrawing because it limited their capacity to loot, their capacity to enshrine themselves in power, and they are refusing to allow it happen. True federalism is one of those things that were there. Now, talking about the Sharia law, I mean, it operates in 12 states of the Federation, and it came about through the 1999 Constitution, but it's restricted to mostly civil cases, inheritance, marriage, and of course, when you look at, we have customary laws and we have our statutory laws, which is the legal processes. But unfortunately, the operators of the Sharia law are beginning to use Sharia law through their conviction and religion, as the case may be, to carry out statutory criminal cases against people. Look, Sharia law is basically for people of that faith, and you can't be using Sharia law for a Christian and no, it is totally wrong. So there's a lacuna somewhere in our constitution, like they said, like my brother said, there's a big lacuna where that the political players have the confab, the resolution of the confab, and that is one area we really need to look at. Moving forward, it's a big question mark. The merging of the amalgamation of Nigeria, it's one of the biggest problems we have today. Only 6 people were valuable during the amalgamation. They had about 26 other people, only 6 Nigerians, and none of them was from the southeast region. At that time, there was about 19, none of them was the south or southeast region. We had the Emir of Kano, the Sadana, Sokoto, Shewo, Bono, some other people. So how can a few people take a decision for an amalgamation? And the amalgamation was premised on the greed of the British colonialists to commercialize and to practically continue to rule Nigeria indirectly through those district heads. Now, the Hausas were loyal. The district heads were people, anywhere you push them, they will go. But then in the south, they were refusing to be pushed. Yeah. They wanted true representation, and that was why they were not called during the amalgamation. You can't settle 2 people when one person is not around. 2 people are quarreling. You say you are settling them by proxy. That is totally wrong. So moving forward, I think Nigeria's case is really a big one that demands a lot of understanding and a lot of political will for us to overcome the crisis.
Okay. Our time is really almost up. We looked at many papers. We didn't check out the Punch and the Nation newspaper, but I'll let you know that these papers have very similar headlines. It's all about the abduction, the release, and the thoughts about thereafter. Also about the budget for 2026 coming from different states. We pray that we see the dividends, we see the reaction, the result of all this monies we're hearing trillions of naira. Let's see the trillions of naira translate into economic vitality.
Hopefully today the state governor could be presenting.
Yes. He's going to present his own today. Let's hope that all this translates into economic growth, but most importantly, we sue for security in Nigeria. It answers many of the questions in the country. But before we can even get security, there must be honesty. There must be the total removal, elimination of corruption for the part of our leaders. And indeed, as we approach 16 days of activism where we try to end violence against women, we must understand that all these things, insecurity and the rest of them, affect our women. After all, those girls were kidnapped. And there was a viral video of a police officer saying how those girls had been pregnant at the time. I don't know the fate of that police officer. I hope that, I prayed the alliance with him because I thought he was the beer parlor and having the most silly time of his life. But that's how we come to an end on this particular segment. Thank you so much, Engineer Meshach Oza. Always delightful. Henry Usiayo, good to have you again.
Thanks.
Morning Ride continues. When we come back, more conversations right here on State Television. Stay with us.
If tanker wey carry fuel fall or pipe wey carry fuel for underground burst, wetin you go do? You go begin bail fuel put for your bucket, or you go run comot far for where the fire go soon come. Na only small time you get to take this wise decision. Waka comot, no, that one no dey enough. Shift, no, that one no dey enough. Stay there dey gist and take pictures with your phone. That na madness. Run, yes, run comot. Yes, your life depend on wetin you do. The fire go come at once and you no go fit control am. Why? Petrol dey catch fire easily. Why? Na just small spark go start big fire. So no stay there dey think. Run comot quick to save your life. No throw your life away because of say you wan pack petrol. Take this advice. This informate na from Public Enlightenment Office, Delta Broadcasting Service, Asaba.
Brought to you by Ministry of Information. Delta from glory to glory.
Mama Ruke, what do you want to so?
I want to throw it dirty inside gutter. Water go carry am flow go.
No, now throw it dirty where?
Government go take care of that one now.
Who be the government? Now me and you?
No be governor, Sheriff.
For some months now, Delta State government don't they go around, they clear drainages so that water could they get free flow. And now our responsibility not to block waterways.
Delta, make we keep Delta clean. I see better for you and me. One love, not throw it dirty for street.
True. Delta government, they do so much to protect Delta from flooding. Some days ago, for our river, Delta government removed silt, debris, substances when they block flow of water, also deepen the water channels to prevent flooding. Now I know why.
Take you and I get Delta.
Governor Sheriff, they do storm water drainages.
I see the better for you and
for
me.
different areas
One
for the states.
not throw it dirty for God.
Our governor Sheriff, he dey create systems so that flooding no go affect our daily living for Delta State. No forget say where water they gather, mosquitoes they gather and it dey lead to malaria. Make we support our government and making sure say waterways they free so that even our roads go last for us.
Delta.
Keep the Delta cleanery.
Make we keep Delta
Brought
clean.
to you by Delta State Ministry of Information.
I see better for you and me. One love, not throw it dirty for street.
To the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive the King.
The joy of Christmas is in the air. We, the board, management and staff of Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS Asaba, warmly invite you to our festival of 9 lessons and carols.
An enchanting evening of festive hymns, soul-lifting music, drama, and warm cheer as we gather to celebrate the true gift of Christmas.
Join us as the prestigious DBS Asaba Celebrity Choir, alongside other choirs and guest music ministers, bring you timeless carols, heartwarming messages, and the spirit of the season.
Expect a magical blend of music, reflection, and joy that will uplift your heart and renew the hope of Christmas.
Come dressed in your best as we reflect on the season and spread the joy of Christmas.
Date, Thursday, 27th November 2025.
Venue, Emmanuel the Savior Catholic Church, GRA Asaba. Time, 4 p.m.
DBS Asaba Festival of 9 Lessons and Carols.
Come, let's make memories and amplify the joy of Christmas together. Signed, Management.